Well, some of the better videos I've done in terms of getting views have been the Buffy videos, and there's some interesting news going on there. And I want to cover that more than this because there ain't really much here, and I'm getting really, really bored. So let's just do it though. What are the updates? Well, apparently now it's official with the IMDb, although IMDb does get a few things wrong. I was misled on some few things on Dune in the casting there. However, this apparently is the shape of what the film will be. We'll have Patrick, Nev, Courtney, and the new people will be Celeste, don't care, Isabel, don't care, and McKenna Grace, don't care. So Celeste and McKenna were in the Ghostbusters. Afterlife I defended, but the Frozen, whatever that was, yeah, that was not very good. That was not very good. That felt really lethargic and just kind of a waste of time. But if you are a Ghostbusters fan, they did do some good callbacks. There is some continuity, but yeah, it was pretty weak. It's pretty weak. So this casting is not getting me excited. And nothing on Scream 6 really set this up. So yeah, even if you want to avoid the production issues and the behind the scenes drama, really, if you just pop this in, you are going to be like, where's Jenny Ortega? I mean, it seems pretty obvious that Jenny Ortega was going to be the star of Scream 7, and maybe they could have done something where Nev is the co-star, and maybe just go back and forth with Sidney and Jenny, but nope, nope. Sydney wants her paycheck, and she's going to get it. So I get it. Listen, I like Nev Campbell. I don't hate her, but really, this just seems to be more a Sydney Nev Campbell project in disguise. It really has nothing to do with Scream. And really, what is going to be the story? So Ghostface is going to be hunting Sydney's daughters, and Sydney gets in the way. I'm guessing the lame twist will be one of the daughters is Ghostface. Hey, there you go. Never pulled that trick before. I mean, listen, Sydney had four major stories, and she's also in Scream 5. I mean, I'm all for, hey, more Sydney, but really, we've kind of maxed out the Sydney card. I mean, what is there more to say? I don't know. And of course, people are complaining this is ruining the timeline. Well, I would be honest there because some fans, and listen, I am a Scream fan, but not like a super hardcore fan, but the hardcore fans have gone through the timeline and they're like, well, they've kind of messed up the timeline before. So you can't get self righteousness with this one because the timeline never made sense. Ergo, yeah, how do these daughters make sense with Nev or the Sydney timeline? Doesn't really matter. They never really stuck to it. So they're not doing too much more damage to the timeline. Yeah, I mean, if you are a stickler for the continuity, you're going to be annoyed that they just don't seem to care. So there we are. So if you are a hardcore fan at that level, you are going to be really disappointed that this is going to make what little sense the timeline had pretty much non-existent. So whatever. They might have just put this in an alternate universe because really, who the hell cares? And apparently, we're going to have to wait till 2026 because they're filming it right now. Well, again, the math ain't mathin' because with Scream 6, and I would admit, listen, I gave Scream 6 a bad rating. I think it had a lot of good things, but they might have done better just delaying it 1 or 2 months to do some little bit more editing or refining a few scenes. That said, Scream 6 has an excellent opening. A lot of it is pretty strong. But yeah, the major parts of the story, as well as the ending, were not very good. Nevertheless, they got that out really fast, really fast. So they're gonna take their time with this one, I guess. And Kevin is in charge. But really, I mean, I'm just not having a lot of confidence here. But we are early, so maybe the behind the scenes photos as well as the teaser they will inevitably release. And again, if they're doing it this month, and we're already halfway to December, so in a couple weeks they should have enough footage that they can release a small teaser. But gotta be honest, I'm not really excited. I mean, we've just done so many variations of Ghostface. It's very hard to see how they're going to do something really all that new. But again, even though I don't like what the production company did with Melissa and the whole fracas and just dividing the fandom, it is still a movie. I can separate the two. But even as a movie, it's just sort of like, well, Scream 6 led us to think we're going to continue with Melissa and Jenny. And Sydney being a huge part of that would have made sense. But now we're just going to go back to Sydney. Why? Again, I don't want to ruin Scream 6, but that really did tie up most things. There are hints of a sequel, but pretty much Scream 1 to 6. I mean, you may not like the story, but it feels like one cohesive story with all its problems. Scream 7 will now just be kind of like, okay, a postscript or just a big whatever concluding chapter that didn't really connect to the other six and just be like, hey, we're just gonna focus on Sidney and the daughters for whatever reason. You're like, daughters? What? Huh? Wait, what does this have to do with Scream 6? And it's like, nothing. Nothing. And for the people who love Scream 6, this is kind of an insult because they did set up a lot of good stuff. So it's sort of like, yeah, we're just going to throw all that away. And at this moment, Jenny Ortega's big. I mean, she's huge. She's massive. So even if you were just paying attention to the movie news, you're going to be like, wait, what? She's not even going to do a cameo. So yeah, it just is going to feel really strange. Really strange. Now, that said, to be fair, with Scream 6, Sidney was not really there that much either. They did deal with that issue, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Even if you want to ignore what they've done behind the scenes, it's just so hard as a fan to not notice. There's a lot of gaps. People who should exist or be there, they're not there. They're just not there. They're not there. Don't ask questions. And that's just how it is. But I can't say this is the worst cast, but I just don't know why this casting news is meant to excite people. I guess for the hardcore Ghostbusters people, it's like, oh, we got it. Yeah, we got McKenna. We got Celeste. We won. Okay. Listen, I like Ghostbusters too, but I'm not seeing how, if you did like Afterlife, which at least most fans do, it's going to move you over to this project. I don't know. Is it just the Paul Rudd effect? Oh, hey, he was in Halloween. I like Halloween. I like Ghostbusters. I'm going to like this one. I don't know. I don't know. But maybe some future casting or something will really make me think this is not going to be what it is. Just an incredibly laughable, silly exercise in just what? I mean, Kevin is a creative writer, but I just don't see how he's going to fix this at all. It's just going to, I don't know, but Wes Craven did New Nightmare. Maybe they'll do something like so off the charts crazy. Like they like, okay, well, it's not really connected to Scream 1 to 6, but it's going to be a respectable entry. But everything is telling me, yeah, this is just going to make Craven look like what? The greatest French film of all time. Because, oh boy, I'm just not seeing any way this project is going to be good. It's just going to be different degrees of laughability. And at this point, it is in clown country. But hey, maybe they'll salvage it. Or maybe they won't.